This is the Discover Music Show, bringing you the best new sounds and interviews with the hottest new rising stars.
Could be she went for a walk. Could be she needed fresh air. Maybe that will calm her down.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jay Elle and the new single 12 on Sunday.
Then again she's turning 12 on Sunday.
And Jay joins me on the line all the way from New York City. Jay, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Jay, you are a singer-songwriter and guitar player currently residing in New York City. Do you find the city one which is inspiring to you as a songwriter?
Absolutely. It's an amazing city, no doubt. And you have this mix of music that is unequal, at least to my knowledge, between the Broadway music, Broadway shows, and everything that happens in the clubs. You just have a slew of people and musicians who are bringing together these various influences. So you're constantly exposed to something different. And certainly when you meet with musicians in studios, you get to benefit from this. And you get to explore things that you might not necessarily explore if you are sticking to your record collection, because all of this obviously surfaces in a different way. But meeting with these performers, singers, songwriters, musicians is quite an experience.
I was going to say, it's such a great energy in New York. Every time I go there, it feels as though it's such an exciting city, and I guess a little bit of that must rub off on your songwriting too, huh?
Oh, absolutely. You just can't help but be awake all the time. Try to sleep a little bit. And there's always something to go and listen to. There are shows all the time. There's, clubs open all the time, not 24/7, but certainly you always find music.
Yes, and here in Oxford, we're very close to London, and I get that sense. These great cities, London, New York, and Paris, etc., they never seem to sleep. Must be great to live there.
Yes, it's fun.
So talk us through the process of song creation for you. You've got this new song out now, of course, and how was that to birth? Was it an easy one?
It took a little while, actually. It's always a bit of a challenge to, bring together music and lyrics in a way that at least I feel comfortable with. The tendency for me is to, if I start with lyrics, which I do sometimes, but if I start with lyrics, I find that the music can be a little bit, standard in terms of the style. So I make an effort to play a lot of guitars all the time so that new things come up. And when music really, makes it as, wow, I'm interested in exploring this, then I go back to the lyrics and try to create a marriage, if you will. So it's a long process of going back and forth. It's just happened that if I read a piece of poetry or if I read a lyric, no matter how good it is and whoever writes it, for some reason the music doesn't come to me as being very interesting. So I go the other way. I try to come up with music that's really, it sounds good to me, and then, match it to the lyrics, and that's tedious.
And it sounds like quite a tough process for you in terms of the work involved in sort of bringing about a song from start to finish. Is it quite enjoyable? I don't know how you feel about the sense of enjoyment that you get from songwriting.
Yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle, I don't do puzzles very much. I do a little bit of crossword puzzles. So, if they're easy, that's okay. It's fun, right? Otherwise, it can get pretty frustrating. So when it comes to the music and lyrics, it is fun because I love what I start with. And, I'm like, hey, this could make a great song. But yeah, it has its ups and downs along the way. There's work involved, let's put it this way. And it's great. It's fun. If you love doing it, it's great. If you're trying to do it because you have a deadline, or you're trying to I don't know, if you think that, hey, maybe this is going to be the next big song for the rest of the world, yeah, you might get frustrated. But it's fun for me. It's just difficult sometimes, absolutely.
And what attracts you to this particular genre of music, the style that you've chosen? What's the attraction?
Well, in the case of bringing together, an acoustic guitar and lyrics, it has room for exploring new ways of putting things together in my mind. Rap has a great platform for lyrics, right? And some of the music I've heard, not necessarily known or played on the radio, some lyricists can write some fun stuff. Eminem, right, writes some incredible things. I don't, support the violent stuff or anything like this, but it's there are more ways to bring lyrics into rap music in a way than you do in pop music. In pop music, you've got certain formats that you have to be looking for solutions to bring into it some kind of interesting lyrics or different lyrics, I would say, in my humble opinion, of course. So this particular format is kind of interesting because I'm not locked to certain ways of doing things, if you will, certain formulas.
And the brand new single, 12 on Sunday, was recorded at Varick Studios in New York. Did you experiment with the creative options in the studio, or do you have very much a plan before you go in?
No, in that particular case, and for this first album, it's all about the performance. It's all about spending the time it takes and getting the mood together just to get a great performance from guitar and vocals together. Not necessarily perfect, if you will, from what technology allows you to do. If you punch in and out, if you do all kinds of fixes and all this, which is fine. I don't criticize that one bit at all. But it was just the idea was just to get like an emotional performance that conveys the mood that is set by what the subject matter is. In this case, a father who's raising his child by himself, a 12-year-old girl, just turning 12, and who just ran off. She's out there on the street. So that's really it. There's quite a bit you can do nowadays, obviously, sampling and bringing instrumentations and so on and so forth. But it's sort of, in my mind at least, a little bit of a rest for your ears, if you will, amidst the great music that's out there that's brilliantly produced in studios.
Well, it's a lovely tune, and one that we've played a little bit at the start of this interview, and we'll be playing a little bit more, well, in its entirety, in fact, after this interview. Plans for new music later this year? Have you got anything in the pipeline at the moment?
Absolutely. So the record company is going to release 4 other singles, actually, between now and the beginning of 2017. And then at the beginning of 2017, the full album will be available. The plan is to sort of, introduce people to what I do and how I do it, understanding that there's so much for music lovers out there to enjoy, going back, 10, 20, 30 years of great music plus, and certainly great new music coming out, that, we felt, hey, one song at a time, and hopefully people will enjoy what they hear, and so on and so forth, and build on that.
We look forward to listening to those new tunes coming very soon, hopefully, and well done for 12 on Sunday, and thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Well, thank you. It's been a great experience, and I really enjoyed it. Great questions, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much, Jay Elle, and this is Jay Elle's new single, 12 on Sunday.
This is the Discover Music Show, bringing you the best new sounds and interviews with the hottest new rising stars.
Could be she went for a walk. Could be she needed fresh air. Maybe that will calm her down. You should see what's left of her. room. It wasn't the usual tantrum. Then again she's turning 12 on Sunday. There is no misunderstanding. There is a volcano in her mind. I'm no longer Superman. Now I'm just an old brick wall. Freight trains run through my head. Then again she's turning 12 on Sunday. I know she loves to play. Her mother was the same way. She'll try everything she can to get in trouble today. She knows I'm in a panic, worry myself sick. She knows I'll try to get her face on a few quarts of milk.